and perhaps only 1 in a million could do this. Not everyone can maintain a shredded physique and perform acrobatics, calisthenics with ease the way that this guy does. Coach Greg, and in today's video, how is this possible? Many people saying the guy has to be not natural. I mean, first glance, you're looking at his physique and he's not all that big, but the guy is absolutely shredded, perhaps 6% body fat. And so as he goes through his poses, the front lat spread, the back double bicep, the side tricep, you can see he really does have an incredible physique, but it isn't all that big. People with the genetics to be lean, those who don't get hungry over the time, if they diet and exercise appropriately, they could in fact maintain single-digit body fat year-round and look just like this guy. And so based on his physique alone, I do in fact believe that this guy is 100% natural. Is there proof? Does it mean that he is? Does it mean there's no way that he's taking something? Absolutely not. Of course he could be. But those of you out there thinking you can achieve a physique such as this, you gotta understand, if you have really good genetics and you work your ass off, you can in fact do this. Now, what really sets him apart from almost everyone in the world is what he can do with calisthenics. The amount of strength that this guy has in comparison to his body weight, it's through the roof. And so you're thinking, yeah, but he has really skinny legs. I mean, we've just showed you his posing, his upper body. You're thinking he probably skips leg day. His legs are so small that he has no weight to carry. Well, look at his quads as he does these muscle ups. Does that look like a guy that skipped leg day? Look at the quads. You can see clearly that this guy has both upper and lower body development. And he's not going to the gym. He's training outside. He's doing calisthenics. And so for many people who don't want to go to the gym or perhaps can't afford to go to the gym, you can in fact build an amazing physique without ever setting foot in the gym. Notice he's laying under his bed and he's doing push-ups at home. You're saying, oh, the gyms are closed. I can't possibly go to the gym. Well, what is your excuse now? Find a way to train. If you don't have a bed, perhaps you have a partner. They can sit on your back and you can do push-ups. There is always a way. And you're thinking you can't possibly progressive overload. Well, a cat could literally sit up on the bed, perhaps your girlfriend, boyfriend, your daughter, brother, whoever, and you can make it harder than last time. Rather than finding excuses not to train, why not motivate yourself to do something? And so apparently doing a muscle up is level 1. Last I checked, most people can't even do a friggin' chin up. And so if you're doing a muscle up with ease, that's a lot harder than starting out. Does not seem like basic calisthenics to me. For this guy, perhaps it's level 1. It's just so friggin' easy. And so check out what he does. He does a muscle up and then decides, yeah, that's not hard enough. I need to level it up. I'm going to level 100. And so he pops himself up, grabs it above his head, and does an iron cross leading into another muscle up. I mean, is there anything this guy can't do? And so many people are thinking you can't do this natural. After all, people have heard if you lower your body fat below 10% body fat, that your testosterone levels may in fact go down. Well, this is true for the vast majority of people, but remember, a healthy range of body fat is different for everyone. For some people, it's perhaps 20% body fat. For others, maybe it's 15, others 10, some it's even 5. Not many, it's very rare, but some people can have lower body fat levels and feel good. Some people cannot. There are people out there, some people, unfortunately, that even have 30% body fat, and when they go below 30% body fat, they feel like garbage. They want to be lean, they want to be healthy, they want to look better, but unfortunately, when they try, they are so hungry, their ghrelin is through the roof, and it's simply harder than last time for them. And so for Leo Wang, his set point is simply lower than yours. So I'm not saying all of you out there can just start doing calisthenics and you'll be able to maintain 6 or 7% body fat, be shredded, and do tricks such as this. You could train your entire life, dedicate every single day to doing this, and perhaps only 1 in a million could do this. Not everyone can maintain a shredded physique and perform acrobatics, calisthenics with ease the way that this guy does. But remember, this is what it is in the world. There's always a few outliers that stand out more than everyone else. There are people out there with so much muscle that if you saw them, you'd think there's no way that they could be natural. I'm at the airport, literally traveling from one country to another. And so the customs officers, the security, they say, hey, come here, we know who you are. I'm thinking, well, I better go. I mean, after all, what choice do I have? And so they started talking about watching my videos, saying, you're an expert on being natty or not. Please explain everything that's going on. And so they literally wanted me to point out another officer and say, is that guy natural or is he enhanced? And so I look over slowly without being noticed and I'm like, Don't think he's natural, guys. Don't think so. Does that mean 100% that he has to be on something? No, of course not. And so I'm explaining this, guys. I'm like, yeah, just because it looks like you're on steroids doesn't mean you have to be. And to the same extent, just because you look natural doesn't mean you are. You could look at somebody with no muscle whatsoever. They don't even look like they go to the gym. Perhaps they have 30% body fat. That guy could have been on test, trend, everything for a year straight. The difference is they don't have the genetics to put on a ton of muscle. They don't train and eat effectively. And so the results, they don't match what they're taking. Just because you go on steroids, test, trend, whatever, doesn't mean you're suddenly going to blow up and put on over 40 pounds of muscle. No, you're not going to get 13 years of training in a single year of being on steroids. Some people who are genetic outliers, they simply blow up when they take steroids. But for the most part, most people that take steroids are underwhelmed by the results. And I'm telling you, and I'm being honest with you, most people who take steroids expected they would build much more muscle than they did. They perhaps went on a cycle, gained 10 pounds in 3 months, and stopped and lost the majority of those gains and thinking, I went on steroids for that. I gained in total 5 pounds of muscle after 6 months. I was on it for 3 months, and then I stopped for 3 months, and the end result, I have 5 pounds more muscle than I once had. They were expecting to put on at least 20 pounds in a couple of months and keep almost all of it. It doesn't work like that. And so I caution you, if you do in fact take steroids, trying to take the shortcut, trying to put on all that muscle in a short period of time, you are going to lose the majority of this when you come off the steroids. And on top of that, you may in fact have a very low sex drive. Very difficult for people to come off steroids because they don't feel good when they're off. And so despite the fact that you want to have a shredded physique such as this guy, perhaps you want to have more muscle, perhaps you want to look like Coach Greg, Chris Bumstead, whoever. The problem is if you resort to using performance-enhancing drugs, it can overall reduce your body's production of testosterone. Now, if you do have lower levels of testosterone, you can, of course, experiment with taking G-test. The ingredients in G-test have been shown to increase testosterone levels by up to 200 to 400 nanograms per deciliter. Of course, you want to combine that with a good diet, great sleep, and training harder than last time, but this can, in fact, make a difference. On top of that, GO2 Max for improved cardio, improved recovery, as well as Ecti Builder and Turk Builder when we do in fact have it in stock. If you're interested in staying natural, not going on testosterone, not taking SARMs, please consider HTLT supplements. Click the link in the description. And so I'm looking at his physique and it is absolutely incredible. The waist is very small, the shoulders are wide. This guy could literally step on stage right now. He's show ready 365 days a year. Now remember, not everyone has the genetics to be as lean as this. Perhaps 1% of the population could maintain a physique like this and feel healthy. If you don't have energy, you're not getting a pump, you're having perhaps brain fog, you can't sleep properly, you're having low libido, you're eating too little, you're doing too much cardio, you need to increase your body fat. I don't want people to think that maintaining single-digit body fat for everyone is something healthy to do. I'm fortunate able to do it, but I do a lot of cardio, and remember, I am in fact on HRT, 140 milligrams of test a week. If you're 100% natural, you may lower your levels of testosterone, which of course you can try out G-test. But if you're trying to stay healthy, I don't suggest you go for single-digit body fat. For the most part, 15% body fat for most people is absolutely perfect. If you're looking for aesthetics, perhaps you can go down to 10 to 12%. And if you find 15% a bit too low for you, perhaps lean bulk up to 20% body fat. But remember, after 20% body fat, it's not going to help you to put on more muscle. It's not healthy. Perhaps you're struggling with your diet. And if you are in fact struggling with your diet, of course you pick up Cookbook 3.0. We have several different cookbooks, PDF and hard copy, as well as the Circle Diet Book. And if you need to know how to train, have several training books for beginners, intermediates, and advanced. Click the link in the description, subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Don't forget to watch one of those 2 bloops. Of course, coaching plans by me and my team, the phone consults, the harder than last time supplements, all this, you can get that on my website. Click the link in the description. Don't forget, code Greg 10% off. And until next time, I am out.